Hi, it's been a while since my previous video, so if you're wondering, my name is still Alex. Today I'm gonna show you a game that I've developed for IBM's Blue Fusion 2015 event. If you're curious about what Blue Fusion is, I've provided a short description under the video. If you're not particularly curious, you can just keep on watching. As you can see, the game is called Infection. It's a puzzle game of sorts. It has two types of gameplay, two modes of gameplay, an activity mode and the finale mode, and the activity mode is essentially a standalone mode, and I'll get to the finale mode a little bit later. So let's start with activity mode. It's meant for schools to play, so students representing schools rather. So the students would enter their school name. Then they get to pick their avatar. It doesn't matter which one they pick, it's for cosmetic purposes. They pick one, and then they pick a color that will allow to distinguish their virus. And then they click start. And there's some stuff happening on this screen. Let me walk you through it. Before each level, the player gets presented with a setup screen where they get to see how many viruses they get to play around with. They can see how many actions per virus they can pick for the next level. They see the actions available, the actions out of which they can pick the ones that they want to use. The descriptions for each action are pretty much self-explanatory, but it becomes even more obvious when they actually get to play at least one level. We'll get to that in a few seconds. There is a general description of the next level, what sort of stuff needs to be done for the level to be complete, what score they need to make, or which sort of data they need to destroy, that sort of stuff. And there is a minimap showing what the level looks like. And if they want, they can just click the start button and take a look at what the level looks like, figure out what they want to do, and then click back and choose the actions they want to pick, which also simplifies the process. If they pick the wrong actions, they can always go back and change them to a different set of actions. So let's just, because the next level is a tutorial, you can see that you can proceed to the next level from it whenever you feel like it. Let's just play around with some of the actions that we have to see how it kind of works. Let's choose infect data diagonally and destroy data horizontally and vertically for the first virus. And let's pick copy the virus and corrupt data diagonally for the second virus. So there is some stuff going on the screen that probably I should explain. The blue rectangles represent normal type of data that we can infect and that we get some points for. The yellow rectangles represent personal data that we also can infect, but they provide slightly more points. The gray square is a type of protected data that we cannot infect. It can be used to surround personal data so that it's harder for us to reach or something like that. And the green square is the type of antivirus data. As long as there is at least one green square in the screen, if we infect too much stuff, the alertness level of the system goes up, and if it's high enough, the antivirus data will trigger a system scan and will try to remove the viruses from the system. So let's try to infect some stuff and see how that works, whether that will trigger a scan or not. If you remember the first virus that we we picked the actions to infect data diagonally and destroy data horizontally and vertically. So let's see how that works. So we can see that it infects stuff, and it stops because there's no more cells available diagonally for it to infect, and it destroyed stuff that was directly vertical and horizontal of it. And the second one should corrupt data and multiply the virus. So we can see that that's exactly what's happening, and the alertness systems goes up. The alertness of the system goes up, and that's the system scan that just removed all of our viruses, and it tried to sort out the infection as well. Didn't work quite well, but we kind of see how that works. We can try to do something slightly different. We can leave the same actions in the viruses, but this time we can try and do it. We can try and put the second virus in a slightly different place. We can, because we are corrupting data diagonally. Let's put it diagonally from the antivirus data and try corrupting it. And we see that it gets corrupted, and the alertness level of the system doesn't go up anymore. In fact, it's zeroed, and the stuff just keeps happening, and with nothing to trigger the scan, the system just gets more and more infected. So let's just move on to the next level. So we can see that now we have 5 viruses to work with. All the actions are available to us, and we have a limit of 2 actions per virus that we can pick. If we look at the actual level, we can see what's happening here. There is an additional type of rectangle here that I'll actually show you what it does in a second. Let's try to destroy the data horizontally and vertically, and try to destroy some of the antivirus cells that we have here. So we can see that what happened was, as soon as we destroyed these cells here, the other green cells started multiplying and consumed our virus, and nothing else is happening. So what can we do to fix that? We can, instead of destroying data, we can try and corrupt it, because it looked like when we were playing around in the tutorial level, it looked like the corrupted data just stays there. So that wouldn't actually destroy our virus and won't trigger a scan. Oh yeah, and if you've noticed, when the other type of green cells multiply, they trigger a scan as well. What if we try corrupting data diagonally and corrupting data horizontally? For this one, we can see that there's 4 different sections which contain antivirus cells. So if we choose these actions for 4 different viruses, and then we probably need to infect this stuff to get the right score, and we only have 1 virus left with 2 action slots. So probably for that virus we need to copy it, and we need to infect data, let's say horizontally and vertically. And now let's try doing that. Let's place 1 here. And it takes a while to kind of corrupt stuff. Let's place 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. And then we just put the other one, the 4th one, just anywhere, and see it multiply and then infect stuff. I should probably mention that this game has 12 different levels that get presented to the player in random order. The gameplay of one instance of the game is limited to 20 minutes, so the player isn't really expected to complete all of the levels in the time. And yep, so we can see that the score is high enough for us to proceed. I don't see a point in showing all the 12 levels, so let me show you another one. And probably then would be a good time to move on to the finale mode. So we can see that next level looks something like that. We need to infect all this personal data, but we can see that if we start doing that, there's a couple of antivirus cells here, so they'll probably trigger a scan. So we need to deal with that. So we probably need to destroy them somehow before we try to infect stuff. So let's see if we have anything to destroy data, and we know that we do because we've tried that before. Where was it? So here we go, destroy data horizontally and vertically, and copy the virus to a random nearby position. So we've only got 2 actions per virus, so that kind of fills up the slots and this one. And it looks like if we keep multiplying, by the time that we destroy, or can potentially destroy both of the antivirus cells, the alertness level of the system will be high enough to trigger the scan anyway. So the other type of action that we need is we need the other virus to decrease system alertness when the limit is reached. Self-explanatory, really. And we kind of still want to infect stuff because that's the point. We need to get a score of 260,000 to go to the next level. So the third virus needs to infect data, and the best way to infect data here is to infect it diagonally. So we pick that sort of upgrade for the third virus, and it still has 1 empty slot, so what the hell, let's make it decrease system alertness as well, even though we probably won't need that. So let's do that. So let's place the first virus here and the other here, and wait for stuff to happen. It's probably worth mentioning that some of these levels are intentionally long, because the time that the player is supposed to play this game is limited to 20 minutes. I thought it would be a good idea to have levels where the quickest way to complete a level would be to sit down and actually analyze the situation and try to figure out what the best solution would be before actually trying it, so that it's less time consuming to actually try implementations of stuff. So boom, it gets destroyed, the alertness level goes down, and now we can happily infect stuff. And that just looks satisfying. We can see that the score is going up like crazy. And, well, essentially we've completed this level. Right, so we've looked at the standalone mode. Let's see what the finale mode is all about. Let me kick off session 1 and then explain what's happening as it's happening. So when the school finishes a game, when the 20 minutes run out, they get presented with a screen where they get to pick 2 out of 6 upgrades for the finale session. And this is a finale session. Each school is represented by 6 players was split into pairs, and each pair plays a single instance of a standalone mode. So each team, each school provides 3 viruses with 2 upgrades each for the final session. And you can kind of see the splits between colors. So for example, you can see that the green school is one of their viruses is here, one is here, and one is here, and they're not doing much. And their upgrades are defining the behavior of their viruses within here. For example, the greens have chosen to the ability to consume protected data, and so they're slowly making extra points here. The blue team has chosen something similar, and so you can see how they've split, um, how they managed to move on from the section where they started here to the neighboring sections, and really this is all the finale session is about. We put 6 teams against each other in the first session, and 6 teams, another 6 teams in the second session, and both of those sessions produce 1 winner each, and then we put them against each other in the final face-off. And so we can see that the School of Capitalism has won this round. So actually I've already ran session 2, in which the School of Communism won. So for the face-off, we're going to have the School of Capitalism against the School of Communism. It's a slightly different map. You can see that they're kind of pitted against each other. And here the upgrades that they've chosen can make all the difference in the world. This session is actually shorter in time than the previous one, so the upgrade that allows to consume data quicker might prove to be a winning strategy, or perhaps the upgrade that allows to consume the enemy viruses might be a good thing to have as well. Let's see how this plays out. So you can see that they've actually met at the bottom. Nothing is happening, so it looks like none of the teams chose to consume the data. So really the School of Communism won, probably by a fraction of points. And this is essentially what infection looks like. Thanks for watching.